got our layout set up. Nothing permanently attached yet, so we got our battery on charge. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the couple screws in just to kind of set this here, and then this way we can unhook it and pull it wherever we need to. I'm going to mount our phone charger here. So I'm going to cut this board along here, and then I'm going to come up towards the bus and then over and then up, mount all this to the board so it stays in place, and then this is going to sit on the back edge of the table that I put in the camper or my landscape trailer. And then this is pretty much going to be the general layout for this. I'm going to cut a square piece of wood. I'm going to mount the controller. I'm going to mount the breaker and our Bluetooth. I'm going to drill a couple holes to it. And right to the right of the door we put a shelf with all of our food and stuff on it. So this I'm just going to zip tie to that shelf. And then I'll have my leads coming off with the quick connect to plug the solar panel in during the day, and then at night I can unplug it when obviously there's no solar. And then these are my 10 gauge leads that are going to go basically into the V and then over and hook up here is where my battery is going to be. So those are going to be the leads going to the inverter. These leads are going to go to the battery. So the controller will be charging the battery during the day, and then the inverter. So basically the only thing we're going to be making off of this really is coffee, maybe charging some DeWalt batteries or running a fan, and we're going to be charging our phones and my GoPro off of it. So this is the setup. We are going to start getting stuff mounted to this board. Got my dust covered inverter. So that was real good for it. I got my little wood screws. Never restricted with time because busy is always the last minute thing for camping. There, we're going to completely cut everything down, so I kind of set. Lay that over there. Alright, that to be done. Use a few construction screws just for now. Alright, well it took forever, but I found a couple screws that should work to hold that in place. There we go. Perfect. So now that can sit like that, and then if we need power elsewhere, we can just unhook it, undo the little tie I got there, and move it on the table wherever we need it. So that's going to work out perfect. Alright, now we are going to work on our 12 volt USB-C. I'm almost kind of thinking maybe some of this here Lexon. Let me see if I can get this bent. It's pretty tough stuff. If I can get it to bend nice, maybe we'll use this. I'll bring it back once we figure it out. Here's the setup. We got the 1000-watt inverter. We got the Belkin power strip. And then we got that coming off into our bus bars. Off the positive, we got our 125 amp fuse, our kill switch. We've also got our 10 amp fuse coming to this USB. What I ended up doing was, this is actually a product called Secure View or Lexon. So I just kind of heated it up and bent it. Mounted the 12 volt USB to that. I got that hooked up to the ground bus bar, the positive bus bar. Put some wire holders to keep everything in place. And we got it temporarily hooked up to our battery, and we're going to see if it works. First thing we're going to do is we are going to see if our power kill switch works. It's on. And we are showing 12.6 volts on the battery. And the kill switch works. Beautiful. Alright, now let's see if it's going to charge our phone. So plug that in there. Plug this end into our phone. And as you can see, it says super fast charging. So that is working properly. Let's see. This one. Yep, they both say super fast charging. We're still at 12.5 volts. Awesome. Alright, so we know that our kill switch works. We know that the fuse is working. We know that our 10 amp fuse is working. Our bus bars and for our ground and our positive is working. And we know that our USB supply is working. Now let's see if this works. We have a 500-watt coffee pot. We're going to brew a pot of water. So let's get this turned on. Alright. Fan powered up to show that it's on. We're at 12.4 volts. And let's see if we can brew a pot of coffee. We've dropped to 11.4, which is what you would expect. I'd rather see like 11.6. Oh, there you go. Oh. So we're hovering between 0.3 and 0.5. So we will see if this brews a whole pot of coffee and none of our fuses break. Make sure nothing's getting hot. So we will bring you back when that's about done. Alright, our coffee is just about done. I don't know if that's picking up the coffee pot noise or not. But as you can see, maybe, yep, there we go. Just about empty. So it's brewing that, no problem. Nothing's getting hot. Look, the fan hasn't even kicked on. None of my wires are hot. My ground isn't hot. We're still hovering between 11.3 and 11.5. That's not hot. That's not hot. Alright, I think this is about how I want it laid out on the board for Alright, here's the final mount on the board. We got our Bluetooth, we got our MPPT controller, we got our circuit breaker switch, and we got all the wires secured. About to hook up the solar panel. I just wanted to show this. I'm charging my little light. We have gone back to 12.4, so we've leveled out the battery. It didn't happen quick, but it came back up, so that's a good sign. So I'm gonna get this stuff unplugged and get this moved and get the battery over here, get the solar panel hooked up, and we're gonna check out the solar panel app and see what everything's doing. Alright, we got the panel hooked up. We are charging at 78 watts, 4.6 amps. The battery health is pretty good. It's about what I would expect. It's a 100-watt panel. I've got a 20-foot run plus a couple different connections. There's definitely a voltage drop there. And I'm not sure what the voltage drop of this switch is. I know it's not a great switch, but so our controller's hooked up, our Bluetooth is working. We're at between 16.9 and I've seen it jump up to 17.5 for the volts. We're right around 4.5 amps charging out of the panel. And the voltage on the battery got 13.23 at 5.7 amps. And we're showing 13 amps at the USB charger. So that's good. So we know that the battery is charging. Now I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to hit the coffee pot on again. Alright. So with the coffee pot on and with the solar going, which is what's going to happen in the morning, assuming that there's sun. Alright, we're down to 12. Pulling 6.4 amps off of it. And what are we at here? 11.6. So this is hooked up before the inverter. So that's definitely sensing the power drop. So I think for one solar panel and 1,000 watts with an old marine battery, that this is going to work just fine for the couple weeks we're going to be gone, to make coffee, charge batteries, and plug in a light or a fan occasionally if it gets too hot. But you can hear this sheep brewing. So let's see how fast it rebounds now when I shut this off. Alright, the inverter is off. 12.3, and there we go, 12.4. Let's hook this back up, see what this is doing. We're still at 77 watts. And the battery came right back up. So I think that's pretty good. Yeah, we're up to 12.5 now. So that's the solar setup, and I think it's going to work great. I appreciate you watching. If you found any of this useful or entertaining, if you wouldn't mind like, commenting, and subscribing. It's free, doesn't cost you nothing. And once again, I am not an electrician. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I watched video after video, beat that horse to death, and this is what I came up with. Appreciate you watching.